Okay, I don't know why I showed you that. Just a minute. This is our second video. Okay, our first video was just intended to be an overview, so showing you really what you want to do. You want to get the data reads multiple use data for multiple picker symbols for multiple companies. I see I made that loud noises because I'm pressing too loudly on my computer and it's making loud noise. Oh, okay. And then we're going to, it shows you, well, the whole idea really was to get some different trends and do a little bit of a comparable analysis and get some cost of capital techniques and how to kind of adjust the samples and turn the true and false off, and importantly show you some trends in EBITDA, PE ratios, that stuff. I didn't show you the stock price data. I'll do that a little later. Now in this section I'm going to show you really how to take, you go to the menu sheet. Now let's say you have a different set of samples. Let's say I want to do this for yield codes, and I think I already had a video on yield codes, so you put all the yield codes here. Okay, now this is something important. You just find the different ticker symbols for different companies. Okay, and I haven't explained, look at this, for MarketWatch and Yahoo, we have a different ticker symbol. That's going to be an important point. Okay, and what the program does is essentially takes, you see the right now, let's put URL code to be 1. Click on this thing called sheet calc, and let's press the URL code to be 1. That means it will take it will start with this URL and read the data in and plop it in a sheet. Here's where it'll eventually plop it in. It'll make a new sheet down here. Come on, get over here. Here we got an income statement for our Carlsberg company. It's a mess. It looks like a mess. Look at this. It's got 1.5 billion and 650 million. It's a mess. Make this wider or anything else. Now I'm going to press F5 to go back to where I was. All right. Okay. So, but that's what it does. It reads in these one at a time, and then it goes to the second URL, and then it reads the next one. Okay, and it goes around all of the statements or whatever, the data sources. Now you could put your own data source if you like, I don't know, Yahoo, Google Finances. You can make the similar thing. And to make a new one, basically what you have to do is take the URL, split it into 2 pieces, and then kind of put it back together with this little ampersand sign. Okay, no big deal. And then I also took, treasury bond yields. I don't know, I just said, but I did. Because I had Carlsberg, for some reason I thought I'd better get the Denmark exchange rate. So what it does, what this program does, is it reads in all this stuff for all the different URLs. Now I just want to show you something very practical, and it's a pain. The first thing you need to do is find a sample set of companies. That, for me, is the hardest part. It really is. It's just such a pain. Here, I did some of it here. This one, I just typed, well, if we want Carlsberg, I put Carlsberg on Yahoo or something. Okay, something like this. Just a simple kind of thing. Uh-oh. I spelled it wrong, didn't I? Maybe I should have put an R here or something. Yeah, close enough. And then it says, well, we've got a B share, and we've got somewhere, I think there's going to be a ADR, okay, which is, what is that, American dollar, whatever it is. Okay, we have a different ticker symbol for these two things. If I go to finance.yo, I got this. Okay, now I don't know, maybe after I do this a few more times, it's taking too long to get there. I'll get to finance.yo. Maybe I'll get there. But the trick for me is to keep it consistent. We're going to download a whole bunch of financial statements, and we want to make sure that the currency is similar and all that. So you can also put then Carlsberg, if you on Market Watch. That's what I do, something like this. We get the kind of thing. This is the ADR shares, Carlsberg quotes. I give one with a G and a Y and one with just a B, and you have to figure out kind of which one to use. Okay, I used the one called CABGY, and that seemed to work. Now what you might very well have to do is you might well have to do this a couple of times to get it, and then what you do is you just take this kind of thing like this. Okay, whoops, oh no, come on. Okay, and just copy that into the, just copy that ticker symbol into the file. Okay, here's where I put it. All right, and then we would do that for all. Now, if you want to find the, competitors of Yahoo, you can also do that. How would you do that? Okay, Carlsberg. This is probably too silly to show you how to use Google to find things. What a kind of ridiculous thing to do. I don't know what the best way to do this is. I don't know if this is, you like this best, or what have you. But you find the competitors, and then they have some competitors, and then you type them in. I think it's a very, I don't know how to make this less of a manual process, or find some automatic competitors on that show me where it's going in Switzerland. You really don't care about that, I don't think. Okay, all right. So now then you put all the names in. Now what I want to tell you to do in this part of the thing is do not do what I did, which is to insert a line and delete a line. What I would suggest you do is I put the kind of, just type them in down here, and then just copied and pasted them up to here. Don't insert and delete a line. That's the big thing. I hope I put that here somewhere. I probably didn't. Well, I did it right here. Don't insert or delete rows. Now this, of course, since it's in A1, maybe I should, whoops, Control-Z, Control-X. Let's put this, Shift-Control-C, and then it's just going to, whenever it's on the first line, if you have your generic macros open, I put it on a flexible title, so it took this code. You could make a new color here, because some people are very, 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 very concerned about colors and making spreadsheets worthy of an art museum. Now, once you have all the ticker symbols defined, you press the clear sheets. I'm not going to, well, how about this? I'm going to save this. Press F12 to save this. Okay, now I'm making too many of these. I'm just press F12 to save as, okay? And that's what I'd strongly suggest you do. And then you can just mess around with it. And then you just clear the sheets. Now when you clear the sheets, it left all the first sheets in here. but took the rest out. Now, on the video in my last kind of little whatever program, reading data from PDF files into Excel and doing some analysis of them, I had a discussion, of how to delete the sheets. And what you do is you go backwards from the last sheet, and then you find some test sheet. So we found the break sheet, and if it's not the break sheet, if it hits the break sheet, you stop. Otherwise, it goes and delete. That's how that one works. Okay. Then you can read everything. Now, when you read everything, what it will do, you can look at the macro, is it first just says, okay, let's remember when we started, let's go through all the tickers, and then for each tickers, let's read the URL, blah, 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 and that's what the read all the stocks does. If we can read all the interest rates and all that stuff, and just a minute, if we read everything, it should do both. It should, this one reads all the interest rates first, and then it goes around each ticker and reads all the stocks. And when you read them all in, where this is the clear sheet. Excuse me, I think I have to put this up. Here, it goes through and reads one URL, basically uses my favorite command, which is workbooks.open, and it's got a URL name. This is the URL name, and it just goes through each URL name. Here's the URL for the read stocks. So when I put a market watch of 2, and then whenever I change something, I've got to press the sheet calc, then it would take the market watch. If I press a URL of 3, it would take the balance sheet, so on and so forth. These are just the URLs straight from going to market watch and right-clicking and getting the data. Okay, so once you've cleared the sheets, then you just press read everything. Now I'm not going to do that right now. Well, I will. Okay. When you read everything, what's going to happen is it first recalculates, and then it goes through, and on the bottom here, it tells you what it's reading. Okay. Now on this internet, I'm staying at a very cheap hotel place, but even if I stayed in an expensive place, the internet would be very slow. Okay. I don't know if there's a correlation or not. It tells you what you're reading, and then eventually you read all of the stocks. I'm going to switch the video off for just a minute. So, if you look down here, this is the first company that's being read. And then we have, it shows down here that it's reading the market watch. And then it's set the market exchange rate. It shouldn't really say that, excuse me. And then it reads the Yahoo. It shows that it's reading the Yahoo. And it's reading growth rates that the analyst predicted for the earnings and so forth. And then it's going through and reading the next stock prices for the next one. And it's reading the market watch. I think this is for the income statements. And it just shows you what it's reading. Now you can see when it does this, if you have maybe if you have the really fast internet, it would only take a couple of minutes, but it's taking a little bit longer. Okay. But, okay, it's not that long. Gets it read. And then once you have it read, just a minute. Okay, once it's read, and then it should be fine. What it does is it just puts everything together. Now, the first thing to do is kind of press the recalculate all button. What that does is recalculate everything on every sheet, and it can be very slow. Okay, oops, I think that was okay. And then, but then if you just want to recalculate one sheet, because, for instance, if you want to take, say, I want to keep this one, you can just recalculate only the sheet. That's just active sheet dot calculate. And then we can get our new little medians and averages, and see kind of what's happened over time. What's happened to individual companies. So if you don't like this craft beer alliance here, you can again just press false. Okay, press sheet calculate, and you get the new calculation. All right, so that's reading the data. All right, in the next videos, we're going to talk about the theory between the theory for computing the cost of capital, which is such an important issue in project finance or corporate finance or any kind of finance, because there's no way to directly compute the cost of capital except by asking every single investor what they really want. And they'll tell you lies anyway. They'll always tell you they need much more than they really need. So, that's the real meat of the rest of this. But for the first thing is, let's just get in the data. Okay, so that's the end of this video.